卵系の宇宙のグランドスパンツの提供でお送りします。
All life begins as an egg. Inside it we grow and develop until we are ready to expand to the world beyond. Our planet was no different. As our society grew, so did our need to explore the worlds beyond, breaking the shell of our ignorance and hatching into the vast unknown. These are the stories of the RPS Phoenix, whose discoveries help us to understand the vastness of space, to explore beyond the limits of our imaginations, to embark on a grand expedition. Captain's Log, Stardate 84116.75. While on an expedition of planet PCS-218 in the Selfish 5 system, our crew discovered a mysterious egg abandoned on the surface. With an impending gamma storm cutting our expedition short, we decided to bring the egg with us. Considering its diminished vitals, Dr. Larton has prepared an incubation chamber for it.
This egg seems to respond differently than others. Instead of warmth, it needs electricity.
I hope you're not suggesting I sit on this one.
Oh no. I've developed an electromagnetic field matrix to deliver steady voltage to the embryo lattice of the egg, simulating its natural life signs.
So, you gonna hook this little guy up to the power grid?
Something like that. Initial scans indicate their cardiovascular system pumps an electrolyte-rich fluid. It's superconductive to their heightened bioelectric signatures.
Let's hope this little guy stays in one piece then.
My goodness! Come take a look at this.
I'm no doc. What do all these spikes and the readout mean?
I am a doctor and I haven't any idea. We'd better inform the captain. You'll have to be faster than that if you want to beat me, Aldo.
That's impossible. You're all over the place.
Come on, let's go again. See if you can't react a little faster this time. There you go. Nice reaction.
Actually, it wasn't a reaction at all. I noticed every time you feigned left, you do a hard lob right. Once I noticed the pattern, I didn't have to react. I could just read you like a book.
Is that so? I'll have to switch it up then.
First Officer Lacey, please report to the briefing room. Bring Aldo with you.
Another time.
Mark your calendars on the 9th of last seed for the Harry Pounder Heavyweight Championship. John Cena defends his title against the Macho Man, Randy Savage, at the Balmora Arena.
At the Harry Pounder event, I'm gonna slither into the ring and I'm gonna throw Cena out the Gryffindor, yeah.
Yo, that Macho Man's as corny as a nacho man. At the Harry Pounder event, watch my fans rave and claw while I huffle, puff, and blow him away.
Ninth of last seed at the Balmora Arena. Buy your tickets now because they're going to fly away faster than a golden snitch.
It would appear the egg from PCS-218 is interacting erratically with the medbay systems. Ideas?
What if we just remove the egg from the medbay interface? Without a steady source of power, the organism inside the egg will die. We've managed to get it interfaced just in time to save its life, but its vitals aren't improving. I'm afraid we can't afford to disconnect it without irreparable damage. The reports show there's an influx of incoherent data. I could write a subroutine that would filter medbay output to only known signatures. That would at least prevent the system from constantly using resources to categorize and file the interference.
That'll be the way of it. In the meantime, Otto, can you and Braden work on a dampening node to prevent this thing from interfering with medbay systems? I'd like to give it access to power, not data. Certainly, sir. Let's see if we can't make our new passenger comfortable without the risk of interference. Dismissed.
I'm detecting an alpha signature in the flux matrix, but the computer claims it matches no known pattern.
You can't be serious.
I'm always serious.
That's certainly not true, but you're not one to lie. Let's have a look. Captain, the egg is beginning to interface with engineering systems now. It's created an alpha signature pattern and I can't determine its purpose. Isolate the signal. Give it a D-band feedback to disrupt the interference. Right away, sir.
Engineering report. Why have we initiated thrusters?
When I disrupted the signal, sir, it jumped into a new system almost immediately.
Who would have thought an egg would want to go for a joyride? I've been trying to compensate for the instability by utilizing localized gravity fields, but I'm still hearing crew members complain of nausea. Enhancing oxygen levels hasn't made a difference either. It's quite interesting. The symptoms seem consistent with cochlear imbalances sailors used to experience back home. They called it seasickness. Who would have thought you could have seasickness without a sea?
Captain to Engineering, Otto, why have we gone to warp? Sir, fluctuations in the navigation array bypass the warp lockout. It looks like this thing is jumping from system to system and causing all kinds of mayhem.
Captain, it's accessing personal logs too. It keeps creating new entries, but they're all gibberish. I can't figure it out.
This little egg is causing some big trouble. All senior staff to the briefing room at once.
In my haste to preserve the egg's lifetimes, I neglected to create a permissions hierarchy for its access to our computer systems. I deeply apologize.
That's quite all right. There was nothing in our initial scans that indicated it would have such capabilities.
I ran a level 3 security scan. I can confirm there's been no external interference with the computer systems. This is all egg. I've used all known communication patterns to decrypt the personal logs that were created. It doesn't match any known language or writing patterns. It seems entirely random, like the entries were generated without conscious thought. Thoughtful or not, this thing is hijacking our ship. We need to deintegrate it. It still hasn't recovered enough to survive on its own.
I agree with Dr. Lorton. It's only gone so far as to cause mischief, and there's nothing yet to suggest it has malicious intent. We'll keep it integrated, but Otto, I want you and Dr. Lorton to work on a firewall system to cut off its access to our navigation array.
Aye, Captain.
fresh maker.
Alright, Doctor. Initialize the first firewall. That's down it. It's trying to reintegrate with the navigation array, but every attempt is being blocked.
Sorry, my young friend. You'll just have to stay put for now. Security to engineering. Our shield array just went online. It's set to full power, and our energy reserves are depleting at an alarming rate.
Looks like we need another firewall. Otto, how long before you can get that set up? At least another hour to create another lateral surge debilitator.
They won't do. At this rate, we'll lose power to integral systems by then. Captain, permission to disable weapon systems and reroute power to the shield array.
That'll be the way of it.
Captain, not to sound crazy, but it may be time to consider this egg a hostile. This is ridiculous. Did you just invite me here to boost your ego? Oh, Aldo, I suppose I might have taken it a bit personally when you beat me last time. There's such a thing as overcompensation. Everything I do, you just cut me off. At this point, I might as well just stay behind cover. If you do, you'll just run out the clock and lose anyway. That's exactly right. Lacey, we need to see the captain.
I've been told Environmental Systems Lead Aldo has some new information. Aldo, you have the floor.
Well, you see, go on. It's a good idea. Right. Well, so far everything we've seen from this egg has seemed entirely random, right? Well, I'm not so sure about that. This thing is beginning to take a serious toll on our energy reserves. I'd consider that hostile. But what if its access to our systems wasn't a malicious plot, or even random fluctuations, but an emotional response? It would explain the energy spikes and access to our different systems. Maybe its different emotions just happen to match the energy signals of our different computer systems. Oh yeah? What kind of emotional response is draining our power cells by redlining the shield array? If I had to guess, it feels hopeless. The shields only went up when we disabled its access to navigation. It feels trapped and wants to curl up and hide. That must have created a new alpha signature that matched that shield array.
And it only accessed navigation when we used the D-band feedback to interrupt its access to engineering.
Exactly. It accessed engineering because it was curious about its surroundings, and when we interrupted it, I believe it got afraid. The navigation access was likely a flight response to negative stimuli.
That's an interesting theory, but wouldn't accessing warp capabilities be a bit of an overreaction?
Only if you consider that part of the fear response.
And what would you consider it?
I think once it saw how fast it could go, it got excited. That's why it started creating those personal logs. Its excitement signature was interpreted by our database as log entries.
It's a bit of a stretch, Aldo, but it's a strong theory. What do you suggest we do about the power drain?
I suggest we give it full access to all computer systems. Let it explore and feel safe, and it should calm down. Even if you're right, we don't know enough about this species to know what it might do. On top of that, this is a juvenile. I wouldn't give access to the whole ship to a kid.
I'm afraid Braden is right. We cannot allow full access to our computer systems to placate some uppity egg. Otto, continue working with Dr. Larton on additional firewalls. We need to cut off access to any systems with which it is currently interfering. Although, see if you can't create a chronotron predictive subroutine to detect changes in its mood. If your theory is right, we may be able to predict its next jump. Dismissed.
It looks like they did it.
Security Officer Braden, have you noticed a change in the shield array?
Affirmative. The power drain is reversing. I'll wait for further stabilization and return power to weapons. Excellent work, Otto. Vitals are still stable. How long before we can get the next firewall up?
It'll be at least another hour. With a unique alpha pattern for each new system integration, I have to degauss the central debilitator circuit each time I want to apply a new alpha wave reflector.
Captain, I've got some bad news.
Report.
My predictive chronotron subroutine just lit up. It's about to gain access to environmental systems. I believe it intends to diminish our oxygen levels. In short, Captain, it's angry. Eggman's asleep. Then let's give him some sweet dreams. Introducing Sonic Dance 2. Cruise to the max with all your favorite tracks. Day or night, there's always time for some kickin' tunes.
Blast you, hedgehog!
Sonic Dance 2, available now at Tanuki Tunes and wherever fine music products are sold.
Captain's log. Supplemental. Attempts at isolating the egg to a singular energy flow have proven exceedingly difficult. Each system we divested from seems to cause more havoc. I have called an emergency meeting to discuss our next course of action.
Aldo's theory has proven correct. My continued study of its biometrics indicates its internal structures are, largely, one enormous nervous system. However, instead of thinking, it reacts to stimuli with fluctuations of bioelectricity in a manner consistent with what we would consider emotional outbursts. It's clear this latest alpha wave is a sign of aggression. The egg is reacting to what it perceives as an attack. Unfortunately, our environmental systems will respond to this new wave by shutting off our oxygen generators.
So we've got an emotional egg threatening to cut off our air. Even if we had time to firewall its access to environmental systems, it would only respond with continued recklessness. If we give it access to all our systems, though, we still run the risk of it interfacing where it shouldn't. I see no other option than to de-integrate it from our system grid.
That will surely kill the creature, Captain.
I know. It's an unfortunate situation, but I cannot have my ship and crew put in danger.
If only we could get it to settle down for a nap. I don't even think a bottle of warm milk could get this fella to calm down. What about a bottle of gamma waves? Remember the storm on PCS-218? We removed the egg before it hit, but what if it was meant to absorb the gamma radiation?
Do you mean to suggest that perhaps the egg was intentionally exposed?
We didn't have enough time to scan for nearby life signs. It's possible its parents left it there to absorb radiation as part of the incubation process. It could explain why its vitals aren't improving, even though we've kept it energized. The power signature I infused it with only stabilized it. Perhaps it does need something stronger to thrive. I'd need some time, but I could try a neutrino-infused cadmium field to generate a gamma pulse and see if it responds.
That'll be the way of it. Aldo, will environmental systems hold long enough for the doctor to finish his work?
If I take everything but life support systems offline, we should be able to hold as long as we need.
Very good. You have clearance to take all environmental systems offline except the most vital. Braden, I want our shields and weapons taken offline and their power diverted to medbay to assist Dr. Larton with his procedure. Otto, you assist the good doctor any way you can. Dismissed.
Alright, the cadmium field is initialized. Medbay to engineering. Beginner level 1 neutrino oscillation.
Infusing surge capacitors with neutrino isotopes. Stand by for power initialization.
Not to rush you guys, but the egg just made its jump. Oxygen levels down to 93%. Rerouting power from the navigation array to compensate. No point going anywhere if we can't breathe. Weapon systems offline too. Power's all yours, alright.
Neutrino stream initialized. Waiting on fission to begin generating the gamma wave.
Something's happening. Even though I took all non-vital environmental systems offline, I can't reroute their power to life support. There's an alpha wave disturbance cutting off the power flow. Egg vitals are destabilizing. I think it's fighting for its life. Oxygen levels are plummeting rapidly, already down to 63%.
Otto, report. The neutrino stream is holding. We just need time for the fission to complete. I'm afraid time is something we don't have. Braden, red alert. Lacey, engines to full stop. Depolarize the warp nacelles to disrupt the alpha disturbance blocking off our life support.
Not good, Captain. The neutrino flux has caused a barrier. Can't access warp power. Oxygen levels 42%, Captain. Captain, I suggest we send all crew to their quarters and divert power from all common areas. Their power sources are not on the warp circuit and can bypass the neutrino flux.
That'll be the way of it. Attention all crew members. This is your captain speaking. I'm calling an emergency quarantine. Report to your quarters and await further instructions.
Otto, the egg can't take much more of this. I need that gamma pulse.
Aha! That's it! Full nutrionic fission! Administering gamma wave radiation to the cadmium field.
Infusing the egg with the gamma waves now.
Well, Dr. Larton, report!
Shh! Not so loud, Captain. It's finally asleep. Well, that's a relief. Its vitals are already showing improvement. Excellent work, everyone. När då börjar tänker vi på fika. Alla vet en bra, då börjar med en bra fika. Och den bästa fika innehåller den utsökta smaken av skorpan kanel. Tillverkad med helt naturliga smaken och hälsosamma ingredienser så att hela familjen kan få en näringsrik och utsökt start på dagen. För din hälsa, för din familj, för den likta skorpan kanel.
Captain's log. Supplemental. With the introduction of gamma radiation, the egg's vitals improved almost immediately. The egg was returned to the surface of PCS-218, and all ship systems have returned to normal. Now, we continue on our course out of Selfish 5. You may enter. Ah, First Officer. How can I help you?
I just wanted to report a distress signal I picked up.
Is that so? From what origin?
PCS-218. It would appear our little friend misses us already.
Well, let's hope it didn't imprint on us too much. The most recent scans of the planet's surface indicated life signs moving to its location. No doubt its parents are coming for it as we speak.
I suppose this hasn't changed your opinion on having cubs then, has it?
Surely not.
All the same, I bet Veronica would be quite impressed with your newfound parenting skills.
That'll be all for now, First Officer. Dismissed.
As you command.
Parenting skills indeed.